This is my OMP Bighorn. It's a fantastic RC airplane. Unfortunately, I have already crashed this one 3 times. So if I'm just going to show you one interesting piece, this is actually the fuselage from the crashed RC airplane. The first time I had to rebuild this kind of nose section. So I had purchased some plywood and balsa pieces and just rebuilt it. But after the second crash, I mean, there were just too many parts to rebuild, and unfortunately you cannot purchase just the fuselage by itself, so you have to purchase like the ARF version to have everything. But this is just a kind of nice view of how it looks, and I think that, I mean, it's a really fantastically built RC airplane. I mean, even this one is really strong and sturdy and lightweight also. So I mean, it's a great quality from this OMP Bighorn, and I'm flying this one on a smaller prop. I have some experimenting to do, and I have new wheels also, but I just want to share another flight on this one because I think it's just a fantastic RC airplane. Once again, I take the OMP Bighorn to the sky. Just a few minor gusts today coming from my right side. When it comes to this OMP Bighorn, you can actually do everything. You can just go really smooth and nice in the sky. You can engage flap, a really great flap performance. Really slow when you face the wind also. Really easy to get down. And then when you want to push it more, just have to increase speed. Just a little bit, because it's so easy to move this around the sky. You don't need to go full throttle. I think it also has a really pleasing sound on 3S batteries. The rudder is super effective when you do stall turns. And at first, when I bought this one, had the maiden flight, I was really skeptical because it had some really crazy odd behavior. It turned out to be a malfunctioning aileron servo, which was first just had some odd behavior, and then during a flight eventually it gave up. It locked itself in the up position and the plane went down. But with the new Emax 20-gram servos on the ailerons, so far it has been working great with no odd behavior. And with no odd behavior, it's just fantastic to fly this OMP Bighorn. And in some ways, when I try all these RC airplanes, I have it in back of my mind to actually find like the perfect high wing or low wing or a biplane or EDF. And this OMP Bighorn could actually be like the perfect high wing RC airplane, at least that suits me. Because it has the look, it has the performance, and I mean, it's also quite affordable if you consider like the quality of the parts, because it's really nicely built with this balsa and plywood frame, and the finish is really excellent. And the only negative thing about the balsa and plywood plane is it takes a lot more time if something breaks So if you do like crazy maneuvers, snap turns, and you just lose control and you crash this, it can take a really long time to rebuild parts. So with a foam RC plane, you spend like 5 or 10 minutes. You put some glue on, you press the pieces together, maybe you shove in a piece of carbon fiber rod, and then you're good. And many times you can do it in the field, and like 5 or 10 minutes later just be up in the air again. That is something you cannot do with balsa plywood, and you really have to rebuild things. And I'm not interested in building RC planes from scratch. And more or less, I like to build them, but I like to have a kind of an easy build, and then I'd like to fly them and explore the experience. So I'm not really a model builder in that sense. You can see the light rays just hitting the shiny surface. It looks just amazing. Let's get this one down then. Full flaps are engaged, facing the wind. It's going down. And these wheels I have on, they do work better than the stock wheels. I think also they look really nice with the shiny silver center on them. As you can see, this is just a great flying RC airplane. If I would compare this one to other RC airplanes, I mean, I think that the ones I do keep are the planes that I like to fly. So, I mean, I could actually compare this one to the E-flite Valiant because they kind of share the same speed and kind of snappy performance in a way. I think if you could compare this one to the Timber X and the Night Timber X from E-flite, I think all the Timber X's, they are too chunky in my opinion. They feel chunky when you fly them, and with this one you have excellent flap performance. I really don't like the flap performance on either of the Timber X RC planes. I think it's what I call waggy. I mean, they feel unstable when you fly them. This one on the other is just rock solid. I could also compare this one, for instance, to the FMS Kingfisher. Then this one is much more fun to fly because it's more agile. Although I think the Kingfisher is a fantastic flying RC plane, but this one is more agile and more fun. Of course, you can fly more gentle, even slower, and land even softer with the Kingfisher. And then again, what I would compare this one to, for instance, I mean, larger RC airplanes. We have the 1.4 meter like FMS J3 Cub, and then this one is certainly more agile. Although I think the Cub is a really nice flying RC airplane. And then you have the larger Cub, like the 1.7, the PA-18 Super Cub. And again, this one is more snappy, but the PA-18 is really nicely floating RC airplane with kind of really graceful flying. I could also compare this one to the E-flite Clipwing Cub, which is a really agile and great performing RC airplane. And then you started to get them really close, because I think the E-flite Clipwing is a fantastic flying RC airplane. It looks really nice and it flies speedy and agile even on 3S batteries. So I mean, maybe the closest comparison then would be actually the E-flite Clipwing Cub, which is not available anymore. But then again, I think this one is more beautiful looking and just a great flying RC airplane. So, I mean, there are so many great high wing RC airplanes, but this one I think gives you everything in performance. You have it really agile and snappy and fun, and you can certainly do 3D with it if you're good enough. Or you can fly scale-like, docile, with flaps and everything, and just have a great experience. It's just a fantastic all-around RC plane, this OMP Bighorn.